channel. In this video I'm going to be teaching you a very unstable chord that seeks for resolution to another chord, and this chord is what we call diminished chord. So I will teach you how it's built and how it's applied in worship song. Okay, so let's not waste any much time. How to build diminished chord. Now, to build a diminished chord of any key, remember a diminished chord are triad chords, that is, they contain 3 notes. Okay, so to build the diminished chord of any key, all you need to do is hold that particular key, then add 3 semitones upward. So I'm just going to add, that's 3 notes, just 1, 2, 3, to get the second note of the chord, and add 3 again, that is 1, 2, 3, to get the third note of the chord. Now this completes your diminished triad chord, a very unstable chord. Okay, so you can apply it to any key. For instance, G. I want to build G diminished chord. I hold G, count 1, 2, 3 to get the second note of the chord, and count again 1, 2, 3 to get the third note of the chord. And this is my G diminished chord. Okay, so you can use this to build the diminished chord of any key. So now, how do you apply diminished chord in worships or songs or whatever? So now the first thing I want you to know about this application is that diminished chords are very, very unstable. What do I mean by unstable? It means that they can't stand alone. They often seek for a resolution to another chord. Okay, so unlike your major and minor chord, which are very stable, they can stand alone, diminished chord most times can't be used alone. So it serves as a bridge, like a bridge that leads you from one chord to another chord. Okay, that's what we call passing chord. So most times, maybe when you want to play a minor chord or a major chord, you can just quickly play a diminished chord before playing that particular major chord. So let's demonstrate this using the song Awesome God. I'm Sinach. Let me do this on the key of C for easier understanding. So I want you to focus more on my left hand in this song, because this is actually where I play most time the basic chord. Okay, so I'm going to make this very, very simple. So this is how the song goes. I'm going to show you the exact time I used the diminished chord and why I used it at that particular moment. So this is how the song goes. Holy are you, Lord, all creations call you Lord. Now this is the particular points I just want to emphasize on. Okay, so at this point I went from all creations call you Lord. So actually I went from my C major chord to my F major chord and my G and F sharp diminished chord and my G major chord. So I want you to focus more on this part, that is going from F major chord to F sharp diminished chord and G major chord. So you can see that the F sharp diminished chord serve as a bridge between my F major chord and my G major chord. Okay, so instead of just playing all creations call you Lord to my G major, I played all creations F sharp diminished chord call you Lord. You can see I'm still following the timing. So it's not that I just played F major, all creations call you Lord, then I now play F sharp. No, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so when I say that all creations and call you Lord, I want to make sure I travel through F sharp and G major. So I have to be very, very fast in applying this diminished chord in between. That is, all creations call you Lord. Okay, Lord, I must land on G major when saying Lord. So I don't want all creations call you Lord. No, this is where I have to be when I say Lord. So I have to apply this very fast before going to this. Okay, so I use diminished chord as a passing chord, and mostly when you want to use diminished chord as a passing chord, this is how you do it. Most times the first thing to do is identify your target chord. Okay, so you know in this case we are going from F major to what? To G major. So G major serves as our target chord in this case. Okay, the target chord is the chord you are going to. So what you just do is most times how diminished chord are applied is that you just count a note backwards. Okay, so you just count one note away from the root note. So this our target chord is G major, and G is our roots in this case. Okay, the root of G major chord, that's the notes that give the chord its identity. So what I'm just going to do is that I will count one semitone backwards, okay, which is F sharp, and play the diminished chord of that note to lead you to that major chord. Okay, so this is what I mean. So for instance, if I want to play let's say C major chord, if this is my target chord, the root of this chord is C. That's why it's called C major. Okay, so what I'm just going to do, I will count 1/2 step, understand, a half step below this my root chord, so that is B. So I'm going to play B diminished chord to lead me to this. Okay, so if I want to play C major chord, I will just count 1 note backwards, that is B, and I will play the diminished chord of B, which is this, before I get to my C. Okay, so if I should continue in the song, you can see we'll see be applying diminished chord in some other parts. For instance, look at this. Awesome God, how great are thou. Okay, so what I want you to focus on is this. Awesome God, that's C major. Then I played G sharp diminished chord before going to my A minor chord. Okay, awesome God, how great art thou. So you can see what I did. So A minor chord is actually my target chord in this case. Okay, because it's the chord I want to go to. Okay, so what I have to do is that I have to remember what I taught you. Count 1/2 step away from the root chord, from the root note of the chord of your target chord. So you count 1/2 step away from the root note of your target chord and play the diminished chord of that key. So what we're going to do in this case, we're going to go backwards. Most times it's backward. So, and this is my G sharp. So I'm going to play my G sharp diminished chord before I get to my A minor chord. Okay, so I hope you get the concept. I don't want to prolong the video so much. So for a quick summary, diminished chord are triad chords. They are very unstable and they can lead you to another chord. They serve as a passing chord between two chords. Okay, hope you find value in this video. If you learned something, you will do it to hit that subscribe button, like, share to your friends, and we'll see you in our future videos. Okay, so bye.